All right, please bow your head as I for prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that affect the citizens of Aransas County. And continue to remind us that all we do today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of our community. We ask these things in your name. Amen. All right. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo, here, Commissioner Dupnick,
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, we've established a quorum. At this time, we'll hear from citizens to be heard, and we've got one signed up. Mr. Krebs. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Greg Krebs. I live in Fulton, 102 Bay Court. I'm a 10+ year full-time resident. Character control? That's not a question. That's the theme of what I'd like to address. The county has a serious animal control problem. And there's a simple solution. You already have the facility, the equipment, and the manpower. It only needs a name and a functional change. If you rename the Aransas County Animal Care Department to Aransas County Animal Control and function as they control. This would involve some procedure changes. One, you would have to accept all animals that are brought into it. Not requiring a reservation for a wild animal to be brought in. Not limiting it to the number, excuse me, number per day or week, but accept all of them. Secondly, you need to get the staff needs to go out and collect the wild stray animals. You do this during the early morning and late evening hours, not midday. You can look on the social media and see at least once a week a report of a dog, a litter of puppies, a cat, a donkey last week out running around. There's all kinds of wild animals that need to be controlled. Once the animals are obtained by the department, they should hold the owners responsible. Most pets are chipped. It's very easy to find the owners. Once the owners are identified, have them responsible for controlling their animal. If there's no owner, adopt them out if possible. If that's not possible, you have to do the unpleasant task of euthanizing them. Granted, there's some hard decisions and some unpleasant work to be done. But we're all aware of what happens when nothing is done. I'm not going to remind you of that. Please, let's care about people, control animals. Care to control. Thank you for your time and listening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. All right, we will move to presentations and proclamations where we have none. And so I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second, and I just want to recognize before we vote a couple of donations. I want to recognize a donation of $1,000 from Noel Maiska for the spray neuter program for Aransas County Animal Care. I want to recognize Another Chance RFT for their services to Aransas County, and I'll give you a total value of donated services for June at $7,364. And I believe those are the two donations. All right, we'll go and vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. We'll move on to item number 8.
I move to approve the Rockport Cultural Arts District report for the second quarter of 2023.
All right.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. We have Miss Day. Good morning.
Good morning, Jennifer Day, 902 East Cornwall, Rockport, Texas. I'm here to represent the Rockport Cultural Arts District. Colin, are we on? There we go. Sorry. There we go. Okay, April to June this year, giving some stats on our beautiful little landmark in the center of the district, the Railroad Depot Museum, showing the zip code collections during this time, both inside 75 miles and outside 75 miles, as well as the room nights associated with those visitors. We've continued to have growth. We completed the restoration of the railroad train model that was donated to us. Some of you came by and saw that. Thank you for coming by. We've continued to collect artifacts. The reality is a lot of children are bringing in their parents' artifacts for. That's we have a to keep them and display them. We hosted the Aransas County Historical Society in their photo contest for the calendar next year. And we're also working with the GLO in Clean Coast, Texas on adding a cistern to irrigate the depot property. This is one of their water retention initiatives.
That's great.
Okay, short 2 months from now, we're going to have 100 Ford Model Ts grace our community as well as our surrounding communities. We'll have 200 Ford Model T members, and they will all be staying here with us. And that's just the tour people. That's not the visitors that will be generated for this very unique opportunity. We'll have a parade downtown, and as well as a lot of other activities planned both at the airport and Fulton Mansion and several other places. We're continuing to focus on heritage tourism, Passport to the Past program, which is a partnership. We do love to work in partnership. We maximize our visibility that way, both at the Texas Maritime Museum, the History Center for Aransas County, Fulton Mansion, and of course the depot. And we have 20 state historical markers right now. 2 are pending to be added this year within the district. And then we have 2 national registers of historic places, and all of this is within 44 blocks. Okay. As far as attractions, we have some existing and we've added some this time. We've got the existing selfie inviting murals and photo board, which we added at Rockport Little Theater. Second Saturdays are continuing to be a big draw for tourists. It's a compilation of a lot of things, which I'll show you in just a minute. We've added train rides in the district, our little novelty passenger train. We've had exhibits and let's see, as I mentioned, the Model T Party event that's coming in October, the cultural interface sculpture, which will be quite grandiose towards the end of the year. And then the Texas inaugural Smithsonian exhibit, which we won just recently. I'm trying, there we go. Okay. Second Saturdays is a culmination of our Austin Street Art Walk, which is sponsored by the Rockport Center for the Arts. It is also Art Walk Party, which is put on by Rockport Little Theater. We have our farmers market and our makers market, which are individually sponsored. ARCAD provides live music up and down Austin Street, as well as artists. And of course, we have our Rockport Railroad Museum, as well as train rides in the district on that day. I also want to mention Texas Maritime Museum, which is also a huge draw, and it's located in the district, and we need to add them on this. This is a short 32-second commercial that was put together, kind of not really a commercial, but an advertisement, and hopefully it's going to play.
I wondered what this was because on ours, it was just a piece of.
This is. It's not doing audio, but that's okay. It's got a great little jingle with it. Makes you want to dance. Short little clip, and this was put on by one of our new board members who is a professional videographer, journalist, and reporter. She is working on a commercial, which I'll talk to you about in just a few minutes. But I wanted you to see some of, if you haven't been down, I wanted you to see some of the activities that were going on in the district. Okay, Steve Russell, we all know Steve. We all love Steve. Our Renaissance artist here. Cultural interface after 3 years. It's coming to fruition, and it's really cool. The sculptures are bronzed and they're ready to be picked up. We'll pick them up this month, and a place that will hide them here locally until they're ready to be erected at the end of this year. So groundwork's proceeding. If you drive by across from the festival grounds next to Little Bay, you'll see the big oleander bush has been removed, and you can almost visualize this sculpture there, this grandiose 21-foot sculpture. Anyway, this is coming up, and it's quite a big attraction. We're very excited for Steve. This is his last hurrah, big hurrah. And he's very, very excited about it.
Jennifer, do you have an anticipated date when you're going to do that, like November or December?
It's probably going to be December. There's a lot of things with regards to construction. Derrick Construction has in kind provided $86,000 worth of support for this. We're buying the materials. But there's a lot of things when you're dealing with construction that are kind of out of your hands. So would love for it to be November, but it's probably going to be December.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, Smithsonian Museum on Main Street. This is a really big deal. We actually start training at the end of this month. I'll be in Austin along with a representative from the Aransas County Historical Society and the Aransas County Historical Commission. It's a year-long training for this event. This event is expected to draw in literally thousands of people daily, and it's a 6-week exhibit. This will be in January to March of 2025. One thing I do want to note is we are targeting the new county community center building location for that exhibit. And I understand from John Strothman that it was targeted to be complete in January of next year, but that slipped just a little bit. We still have a lot of slack time, and I think we'll make that. So one of the things I want to point out here is the Texas Historic Commission, who is the management for the Smithsonian exhibit for the state of Texas, originally was only going to pick 6 cities. They picked 7. And I honestly believe, because of the strong partnership of those different groups right there, but even more so because the Cultural Arts District, and we are the lead organization that applied for this, we have official letters of resolution of support from Aransas County, from the city of Rockport, and Aransas County Navigation District. We also are supported by the state of Texas. And I really think that pushed the THC to add a 7th city. So we were very fortunate here, but we're playing on our strengths, and it worked very well for us. Okay. Arts advocacy. So the next legislative session allocated $20 million for cultural districts. This is the first time the legislation has had a line item budget of $10 million. An additional $10 million was added and approved for this next legislative session. So a total of $20 million. And how they do that is there are currently 52 cultural districts in the state of Texas, and entities located physically within those districts that qualify can apply for those funds. Now, they apply for those funds through the cultural district the cultural district has to recommend approval of those funds. So for example, the Rockport Center for the Arts has been granted over $100,000 to date, and they've asked for an additional $80,000 for next year's art festival. All of this money, which is a little under $200,000, if the 80K is approved, and I'll know within a few weeks, all of that money supports the art festival, and that's quite a chunk of money to help with that event. ARCAD also submitted a $63,000 grant request for the new district park on Austin Street. It's called Main Street Park. And one other thing to note here is governmental entities and projects for governmental entities are eligible for cultural arts district grants so long as they're located within the district. So that may be something to keep in mind. We apply once a year, and that's in June of each year. And so that may benefit future conversations with Aransas County. We've also worked with Rockport Little Theater, and we've gotten them eligible to apply for cultural district grants next June. One of the things that I don't think is really realized is the amount of amenities located within a very, very small footprint within the downtown area. And if you look at these items, look at these amenities, it's really quite overwhelming to realize all of these amenities are located within 44 blocks. And the cultural district supports every one of these amenities. We promote district merchants, we promote Texas Maritime. The reason why Rockport Little Theater is located within the district is because we encourage them to be located. We help them to be located within the district. So this is a very dense area full of amenities, and it's only going to bring more and more people as we continue to add Steve sculptures, for example. I use this this model for hotel rooms. It's something that the chamber uses. You saw this probably last time that they submitted their hot report. This was created by their marketing firm, Prost Marketing, and it's used to collect organic numbers that you can't tie to a depot, for example, that shows you how many nights. For Second Saturdays, if you'll look here, our mural and all the people gathered around our mural downtown, if you'll look at people walking, all of these, and this is every weekend, and it's been going on for quite some time. All of these people are attracted to what we're offering in the district. And so it's very hard to quantify. That's why the chamber, and their footprint is a lot bigger than ours. Again, ours is only 44 blocks, but when you look at the amenities, you can realize why we have so many people within the district. So it captures media posts and murals and events and programs. It's also approved by Scott Joslove, which I'm sure some of you know him. He's with the Texas Hotel and Lodging Association. Okay, I mentioned the ARCAD commercial. We have a commercial that's being developed right now, and it's not just of the cultural district, it's of all of Rockport Fulton, and it will feature all types of our amenities outside of the district as well as within. Also, this will be on a in-house hotel channel at the Hampton in Fairfield. And so what this is we have tourists already here. Let's guide them to amenities. Let's show off our amenities and guide them there. So, ARCAD is not just about ARCAD. It's also about promoting and economic development. And that's what this commercial will achieve. This is the first commercial. We plan on doing others as well. Social media, we have almost 5,000 followers. So when we post and we do Donica that showcases businesses and venues, when we boost and we pay for the additional likes and views, those things are very important to continue that cycle of people visiting our district.
Jennifer, I have a real quick question.
Sure.
And I'm making some notes as you talk, so I might have missed it.
That's fine.
But the commercial that will show on the in-house hotel channel, is that the spot we just saw, or is that one that's being developed?
That's being developed
Okay.
right now.
And
Can-
will we get to see that when it is developed? then?
Absolutely,
Okay, great.
absolutely. And Justine used what I just showed you as a trial. He's working it as a trial through his hotel rooms. He's working on the infrastructure of that. So we're trying to marry when that commercial is going to be finished with his completion of his infrastructure.
Okay, thank you.
So will the same thing be available to other hotels?
It can be.
If it would.
Sure, it can be if they have the infrastructure to do it. The thing with Jatine's is, I mean, he's a Marriott, he's a Wyndham. I mean, that's a big chain and they may have certain opportunities available to them that other smaller might not, but we're certainly not going to restrict it. The whole goal is to get it out there, get people to our amenities. Okay, we also, we're the communication point. We initiate the district merchant meetings. We have at least one per quarter. During the summer, it's a little bit slag time, which is true with a lot of different entities. Everybody's running during the summer. We have one coming up in 3 weeks on the 21st of August. And it's a great opportunity for our merchants to communicate and know what's going on. We try to present relevant information to them. And this is our statement of activities. If you have any questions, let me know.
I do. What does that mean? Net assets released from restriction?
Okay, and so I did ask Nick Johnson, who is our treasurer, and he said, basically it's an accounting function. He had to put that in there. I asked him because it stood out to me too. He said it's more an accounting function than anything else. It's kind of zero out dollars, and I can get you more information. I actually have it on my phone, but I don't recall all what he said. I'll follow.
Thank you.
Again, our last statement of activities. And here's our board, very active board. So any more questions?
Not exactly a question,
Okay.
but I would mention that the airport has a monitor out there where they can show films, not movies, but different features or commercials or something. That might be a good place to put your commercial
Great.
once it's done too. as
Good. I
people
hadn't
are
thought of
coming
that.
in.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anything else? Okay, thank you
All
very
right, any
much.
other questions? Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. We'll move on to item number 9, which. Are they here?
Do we need
Nope.
to table this? I move to table the Friends of the Fulton Mansion report for second quarter of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. It's tabled. Item number 10.
I move to approve the resolution R 2023, R 20-2023. A resolution of Aransas County, Texas certifying that the county has made a grant of Aransas County Council of Aging, an organization that provides home delivered meals to homebound persons in the county who are elderly and or have disabilities, certifying that the county has approved the organization's accounting system or fiscal agent.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
I just have a quick question. And our treasurer is not in here, but perhaps the auditor knows. Does this come from the healthcare sales tax?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Let's move on to item number 11.
I move to approve adoption of resolution R 21-2023. A resolution of Aransas County adopting the Aransas County Section 3 and Economic Opportunities Policy, providing for repealer and severability and confirming compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Got a motion? Got a second?
I just have a quick question.
Madam
Who is our Section 3 coordinator? Is that Tish?
We currently don't have a section 3 coordinator, but in the resolution, my suggestion is that we choose Eric Smith, who's our contracts coordinator.
All right. I figured it might be Tish or Aaron. Thank you.
Any questions? All right. Cool.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Move on to item number 12.
I move to approve the adoption of order number 0-15-2023. An order of appointment of election judges and alternates for 1 year term beginning September 1st, 2023.
I'll
second.
second that.
Got a motion and we have a second. Morning,
Morning.
Mr. Stroud.
Morning. So this is the same thing I'll do every August, appointing judges for the 1 year term. The names on the list that you see both came from their respective party chairs. And the Commissioners Court is required to appoint from those lists that the party chairs submit.
All right, do you have any questions? All right,
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
aye, passes 5-0. I'm number 13.
I move to approve accepting a permanent 20-foot wide drainage easement located at 1807 FM 1781 Rockport, Texas, from Elizabeth Ann Beebe, and authorizing the county judge to execute necessary documents.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Want to speak on this? Mr. Reed, good morning.
This is 20-foot easement going from 1781 into the Bailey Ranch, where we also have an easement. Mrs. Beebe has offered to grant us this free of charge. We're ready to go work on it as soon as we can get this finalized. Any questions?
And that's where you're gonna be using some of the pipe we funded
Right,
from the ARPA.
Right.
And this is Copano Heights area.
across the street from Copano Heights.
Okay.
All right. Well, I like pretty, so no. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Let's move on to item number 14.
I move to approve amendment number 3 to the Restore Act subrecipient reimbursement contract number 582-21-22184 with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for the Bay Shore Erosion Mitigation Project to extend the expiration date of the existing contract with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality from October 31st, 2023 to April 30th, 2024, plus the revision of certain terms and conditions.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Mr. Troutman.
Is this?
Oh, there you go.
This is just where this project's taken so long to get approved that we're running out of time. So we're just paperwork. We're extending the time till April 2024.
Do we have a possible date of completion or even to get started really good?
Well, the contract's been prepared and everything's good to go. We got to go through some more formalities with Treasury and TCEQ to get to the point of starting the project. They have to issue a notice to proceed.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 15.
Move to approve the proposal from VG Architects and enter into a contract for VG Architects to provide architectural services for a new aquarium at Rockport Harbor, which services will including estimated cost permitting, construction administration for a cost of $7,200.
I second that.
Got a motion, got a second, and if you recall, this item was tabled on the July 24th meeting, and we've had the contract reviewed, and I'll let Mr. Strothman explain.
A couple corrections. We reduced the hourly rate. And we got rid of the error that was in the contract.
On the area that talks about compensation for reimbursable expenses,
Right.
we have certain services that are going to be included. So I'm curious if these expenses will be payable for the services that are included. So are these in addition to those
No, it'll be
services?
just for when he comes down, when he comes down, his expenses to come down.
All right, because I think there's something like 8 visits to the site.
Yeah, exactly.
So although that's included, we're still going to pay reimbursables to him when he makes those 8 visits?
Yes. We do that for the PJL and other architects as well.
And the assistant county attorney is satisfied with this rendition of the contract?
Commissioner, fixing the error regarding compensation was the main issue that we talked about. And I think that that's been satisfied. As far as the expenses go, as Mr. Strothman said, that is something that we normally do for professional services providers. So all that we'll be paying in addition to the 7,200 is reimbursables for costs of travel. I think that's going to be hotel, gas, and food.
As long as we don't have any more visits that we need to have him participate.
Basically, he comes to at various stages of the project to make sure that the building is being built the way he designed it. That's why he has a fixed number of 8.
All right, any other questions? Okay. Let's go, sir.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner
you have a question?
Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Let's move on to item number 16.
I move to approve the change order number 9.
Oh,
between the
I'm sorry. This item I'm striking, you wanted to take it off the agenda. right?
Exactly. They'll be resubmitted for next week.
Okay, so I meant to do it at the beginning of the meeting and
Should we move to table it then?
Please.
we could table it, yeah.
I move to table approval of change order number 9 between Aransas County and Teal Construction.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 17.
I move to approve amendment number 1 to the consulting agreement between the Grant Connections and Aransas County dated May 26, 2020 for grant administration services for the Bay Shore Drive project to extend the term of the agreement from May of 2023 to December 31st, 2024, and to increase compensation $170,695.81 for additional services which contracts shall be funded through Restore Act sub C reimbursement contract number 582-21-22184 with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for the Bayshore Erosion Mitigation Project.
Before you second, I need to make a correction on the cost for that contract. It's increasing the total compensation to $170,695.81, which is an increase of $70,695.81.
I amend my motion to include that.
I'll second that. Thank you. I was going to mention that too.
Got a motion, got a second. Mr. Strothman.
Okay, this is just Greg's contract expired. This project again has taken so long to get approved. And so this is just giving him additional funds that will carry him through to the end of the project.
And this is the one that we just approved in number 14,
Correct.
that other amendment. Okay.
Right.
Does this payment come out of the grant
No, this payment will actually come from the city.
from the city?
City reimburses us.
That is not done by agreement yet. We don't have a document stating that will happen, but that is Mr. Strothman's understanding with city staff. At this point, the way that it's written, we anticipate that it would come out of grant funds and the city would be reimbursing us back.
I guess. So. Yep.
Okay. As long as that happens, as long as we get reimbursed. All right. Any other questions?
Commissioner,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 18.
Move to approve the July 2023 indigent healthcare report.
Second it.
Got a motion? Got a second?
Is the treasurer online? No. Well, I'll ask the auditor's office. He might know this,
Unless we,
or maybe the sheriff would know this. My question on page 3, where it shows jail, non-indigent healthcare. Is this paid from healthcare sales tax, or do we bill this to the federal government?
When it's non-indigent healthcare, we do reimburse that from the healthcare sales tax.
All right, thank you.
And we only get reimbursed from the feds for their treatment, right?
We get reimbursed from feds for anything that's unusual or excessive, just the normal medicals, they don't reimburse us for that.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
aye, passes 5-0. Item number 19.
I move to approve the selection of option A, no change in the Texas Department of Motor Vehicle imposition, whatever you say that, of optional fee forms. A fee imposed under the Transportation Code, section 502.403 of the local vehicle registration that is used for the provisions of child safety measures in Aransas County, where Aransas County will charge the same fee, $1.50 child safety fee and a $10 road and bridge fee for calendar year 2024.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Ms. Marshall.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. This is just every year we have to opt out for the DMV and we're not making any changes and this is the most we can charge.
And I have a quick question. The 3 entities that show on your sheet, like the county road and bridge, the child safety transportation project fee, I understand we're not in those counties,
Correct.
but do you know how those counties were decided? Because that revenue can be used for long-term transportation projects.
I do not.
Okay.
I have no idea why they've been those counties for as long as I've been doing this.
I would guess special legislation to get them
I
in
would
there.
assume so. And there's the code and the transportation code because most of this comes from that. So they've got special something which we don't require.
Which we don't have yet.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
maybe someday.
So does that $10 road and bridge go to our road and bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. How much do we get a year on average?
I want to say probably a couple $100,000, 100,000, something like that.
Okay.
I know that Shannon and I worked $1.50 up and it was what, about 30?
Yes.
So if you, for each vehicle.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Let's do item number 20.
You move to approve. You want to do that one? Are you gonna do
Well-
that, Judge?
Discussion item.
Oh,
It's not anything,
don't-
any action or anything. It's just to discuss if anyone had any items they wanted to discuss. I will remind you, we have a budget workshop tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So we will be able to discuss all of the updates and stuff that we've done since the last workshop.
All right.
Just strike it.
Do you have any questions? All right, yeah, we can move on.
The only question I have on that, have there been any since the last meeting, any major changes or anything?
Yes.
That,
Yes, sir, there have, and you have a
Okay.
document in your box with all of those
okay,
changes.
good, thank you.
And I guess I'll use this time after reviewing the budget and I'm learning. The budget's mine, belongs to me. And I'm gonna present to the Commissioners Court tomorrow of what I want to do or want them to vote on, and I'm gonna go for the voter approval rate. And so that's the highest we could go. And also
That is the voter approval rate with increments.
with increments.
Yes, sir.
Because as it stands, the way the budget was last Monday, it's budgeted to take 4.5 million, a little more than 4.5 million out of our general fund or out of our fund balance.
General fund
General
balance.
fund
yes, sir.
balance. So that's bringing it down to around 2 million. And so that's just, we can't do that. So I'm going to propose the voter approval rate with the using the unused increments, and we are making cuts. And that's tomorrow's our discussion. We're going to try to see if we can make more cuts and that's about it.
Jackie, would you mind explaining to the public what the voter increments are? I think we pretty much know, but just.
The Commissioners Court is allowed, or the taxing entity is allowed to go up 3.5% each year. The county has not done that. The legislature allowed for us to carry 3 years. So we can carry up to 3 years of increments. And that's what this proposal is to use the increments, the unused increments for the last 3 years.
Which is equal to 10.5%.
It's probably going to be a little bit less than that is what I want to say, because we did use 1 penny last year. So it is not the full 3.5 for each year. It is a little bit less than the 10.5%.
And even using the voter approval rate and using the unused increments, we're still in the hole about 800,000.
Yes, sir.
So it's still a deficit budget. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. We got a workshop. And, got any further questions? No, we'll move on.
I move to approve budget line item transfers for the 2023 budget.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second?
We
I think
have none.
some.
We have none.
I thought we were going to have one for the Environmental Health Department.
That will be a budget amendment and it will be on next week's agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Item number 22.
Move to approve accounts payable and payroll liabilities.
Second,
As this is not a regular meeting, it's a regular meeting, but it's not our normal meeting of the second week. We do not have any accounts payable at this time. We'll be bringing that to you next week.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. At this time, we'll hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken.
I had as I've told y'all before, I go to the transfer station because we don't take a service at our house every week. I mean, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week with 7 people living in your house. And I just got to tell you that the difference that Elle has made out there has been significant in the short length of time that she's been doing that. I wanted to compliment her and her staff again for the wonderful presentations they have for our county facility. The ladies at the pay window are just awesome. And I mean, it's really, even the kids like going out to the transfer station. So that's really unusual. But I wanted to thank Elle and her group for the fine presence they are out there and the good representatives for the county.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Now, at this time, we'll hear reports about items of community interest. Again, no action will be taken. Anybody got anything? Sounds
Is there
good.
any report about how the animal care adoption went?
Oh, yeah.
Lori's here.
Lori's here.
They're worn out from Saturn.
Well, me too. Me and the judge were picking up crates at the end. So actually, it was very successful. Operation Second Chance. We did find homes for 6. Another chance, we'll be tagging 26. So we're looking, and fosters, I believe they had applications on 3 to 4. So we are looking on bringing almost down to half of where we were on inventory. And doing it in a way that is positive, not a negative.
You said tagging 26.
Another chance, when a rescue tags, they say, I want that animal, please don't, it can't go anywhere but to that rescue.
Okay.
They tag it for their inventory,
their-
however, whoever should.
So
So
when do they take it? Or do they?
they
take it?
will. It's usually within 3 to 4 days, I think, is what another chance is projecting to be out. Our adoptions will be picked up today. One was allowed to go home. And some of the fosters should be, Tana will be vetting them with another chance, and they will be leaving as well. So all in all, it was very successful. I appreciate the Animal Advisory Board really worked to get this out there to help save these guys, so I'm really pleased.
All right. I wanted to mention, if I can. So we have regular working hours. You don't work on the weekends unless it's an emergency. And concerning wild animals, because saw on Facebook, there's a mama possum that died and she had babies. And your facilities, y'all can't, how do you take care of them? Or there's a word for it. I can't remember.
There are no wildlife rescue people. They have to be certified.
Right.
For rehab in our county that I'm aware of. Amber did get a hold of ARC. She transported them over to Port A. So all 7 of them were over there.
Okay.
So that's.
I just want to make a point that we did respond and we got those little babies to the appropriate people to rehab them.
Yeah, because there are none licensed in our county that I'm aware of.
The Parks and Wildlife used to have 1 or 2 people here that took, I don't know that they took possums, but deer and things like that. But have you asked them if they had anybody?
They haven't had anybody here as far as I'm aware for a while. I'm not sure what the licensing requires anymore.
Okay.
Because there was some, but I don't know what the requirements are now.
All right. I
But
appreciate
they're
it.
safe.
Thank you. Do we need to go to close? Nope. All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Move to
moved.
adjourn. Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0 and we are adjourned.